You'd never guess it, but tucked under a foot of snow in this Canadian forest is a giant maple syrup farm, and I wanted to know how frozen maple syrup taffy is made, so I came to the sugar bush to find out. You might wonder why I didn't just go to the store to buy the syrup and scoop some snow off the ground to make the taffy, but it's because here, the art of sugaring is more like a science. People look at maple syrup and think corn syrup or table syrup.
It's from the tree.
But that's not what maple syrup is. You can't create it in a lab because it has to come from the tree itself. And in the world of sugaring, it all starts with these sugar maple trees. But how do you go from the tree to syrup on a mass scale? Well, we headed into the sugar bush to find out.
I'm here with my girl, Michelle. We are gonna go on a maple syrup tour where we're gonna taste taffy and roll it in the snow and learn how it's made. We're gonna extract it from the tree. Come along with us. We're gonna show you exactly how Canadians make maple syrup straight from the maple trees. Come along!
Right, so where's that little farmhouse thing?
I think it's right here. Let's hope it's here.
And our maple experience began with a pancake, bacon, sausage, and hot chocolate breakfast inside of this beautiful horse barn canteen.
We're going to eat
some pancakes
and bacon
and sausage
and maple syrup.
Hey guys.
Hi. Good, you?
Get some pancakes?
Yeah. Oh my God, stop. They have like tables everywhere. This is so cute.
This
is
is
a little
adorable.
restaurant.
This is where you come for breakfast?
Wow. I love this.
Awesome.
Aww. What's your name?
This is Rafi.
Rafi. I'm so pleased to meet you. You've been here before, right?
Yeah, for the Christmas tree.
I think I remember you from
Yeah?
Christmas.
Thanks for having us back.
As we enjoyed our breakfast, we learned that in the language of Canadian, it's said that when you tap your first maple tree, it's the greatest feeling in the world, and naturally, I wanted to know what that felt like. So I was excited.
Cheers.
Yes.
Let's see how much he pours on his. I'm gonna just go. It's from the tree. Oh yeah.
Good maple syrup.
And after breakfast, we made our way down the snowy, wintry Sugar Bush Trail.
You might go get a toboggan.
Not without a toboggan, though.
Rafi, come.
Rafi, go in there.
Really, we're gonna carry this the whole time?
Yeah, just drag it. It's part of the experience.
Michelle, you don't want to ride?
Sure.
Michelle, get on the toboggan.
And it was about a 2-kilometer hike in the snow
My butt is wet.
Raph wants to get on there with you.
until we arrived to the Sugar Bush Shack where they make their maple syrup.
Sugar Bush! Now we're on our way to the Sugar Bush. So come along with us, right, Michelle?
Yeah, what she said.
Sugar bush.
Sugar bush.
Sugar Bush.
Sugar bush. Run, Mikey, run.
Are you worried we're not gonna get this?
Yeah, we're gonna get lost.
Are we lost?
I think so.
In the forest?
Come back on it. We're going downhill now.
But it's so wet.
Along the trail, we learned that starting in December each year, crews spend 2 months putting plastic taps into each tree by hand, and the same tree can be tapped for decades, but only if you tap 8 inches because you never want to harm a tree. This way, it can heal properly and be ready for the next season's maple sap tapping. The maple syrup season usually starts in February and runs through April, but it all really depends on the weather because when the temperature is above freezing during the day and below freezing at night, that's about when Mother Nature gives us with her sap. Usually, it's extracted through tubing or through gravity and carried to the evaporator and boiler station. And once the water is collected, you need to boil it down so that you get rid of the 98% of the water until you're left with the 2% sugar, and then you need to boil it until it goes from 2% sugar to around 67% sugar. Of course, the longer you boil it, the thicker it becomes, and then you can make maple syrup taffy over ice. So, the water is pulled out of the sap, and the sap is boiled into maple syrup, and it actually takes about 44 gallons of sap to make just 1 gallon of maple syrup. Crazy. But after a short hike in the cold Arctic, we finally arrived to the Sugar Shack.
We made it to the Sugar Bush. Let's go in and learn about some maple syrup.
We checked the sap buckets, we tasted raw sap, partially cooked sap, and maple sugar, and we made maple toffee over snow.
Oh my God, this is where they put all the sap.
Oh, look at that.
Wait, never mind, maybe.
No, you're right. Look, and they...
Yeah, but look inside, there's snow in here. Unless it's just frozen. I don't know what that is.
Maybe they'll show us inside. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Ooh la la.
Try some of the sap right from the tree. Not that one.
Not that one.
This one. This is sap right from the tree.
Yes, sir.
this
Cheers.
Cheers.
Wait, can we come and drink it with
Oh,
you?
yeah.
Okay.
Cheers.
Wow. This is very
Nice and
tasty.
That's
sugary.
about 3%. This one here is partially cooked for maybe 16, 17 hours, so try that.
Yeah, we can try
Oh,
it.
this is very, very awesome.
Yes?
Ready?
Cheers.
Whoa.
Oh.
That's insane.
So this one's been cooked?
Yes, partially cooked for 16 hours.
But it's not complete maple syrup though, right?
No, long ways. And this one's the sugar right from the tree. Try it out.
So cool.
Wow.
Can we try that too?
Yes, and then I've got
this?
maple toffee here too.
Wow. Oh.
Maple sugar.
I'll take a nice fat piece.
Oh.
Come and see it.
That's good.
Nice. You want some?
Whoa.
That's so yummy.
I don't know if I'd ever be able to work at a maple syrup farm because then I would just eat it.
Eat
all.
everything.
Eat everything.
Yeah.
Wow. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. I'm going to make some toffee here.
All right.
And there's the toffee here.
Oh, this is the part that we were excited for.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Maple toffee, the part that I was most excited for since the last time I did that was when I was a kid, and now I'm not sure why I waited so long to do it again since I am Canadian.
Oh, that's a big one.
We'll show you. This is how you make like the topping.
So cool.
What you want to do is take the stick, put the stick in.
Nice.
Oh, this is going to be a big one. Here, somebody wants a big one? Here, try that.
That looks great.
Oh, it's getting hard already.
Oh yeah, we got yours.
Makes the no, of course. That's kids come first. That makes the anticipation that much more. Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, ready? This is what it looks like. Ready? It tastes like you know that trend where you freeze honey?
Is that what it
Tastes like
tastes
that, but way better.
Way better, yeah. Maybe I'll get a second. Can I bother you for one more?
Do it.
Is that the same maple syrup that you?
That's maple
that
syrup.
you
It's
sell?
only cooked down more, yes.
Wow.
There are 4 grades of maple syrup: golden, amber, dark, and very dark. The taste descriptors go from light syrup to dark syrup, and what I love about this farm is that their syrup, they make it exactly how the settlers did 200 years ago.
Thanks so much.
You're welcome.
Oh yeah.
Should I?
Go
Okay.
ahead.
That's too good to
This
say
one
no.
is
Partially
partially cooked, and then there's sugar. So I'm
Wow.
gonna do it in the right.
Look at that pull.
They use stainless steel equipment rather than cast iron pots, and they cook the syrup real naturally to get the proper caramelization, only extracting what the tree is actually capable of providing without disturbing nature and ensuring they can reuse the tree for the next years to come and allow them to heal fully. But what big producers do, which I found alarming, is attach a vacuum to way too many trees connected all together, forcing the trees to pull more sap than they're capable of providing using a pipeline. And we all know that when you tug on nature, you affect a whole bunch of it. So in my opinion, these large producers are affecting the longevity of the trees by not allowing them to heal properly and extracting more than the trees are willing to give to us. And then the big producers only take about 60% of the water out of the sap using reverse osmosis, rather than the 90% here without using the reverse osmosis.
I want to go in there.
And we all know that when you take a shortcut, especially in cooking or baking, it just won't taste as good.
Is there anyone in there?
That strong maple taste only really comes from that long-term natural cooking, and as time-consuming as it is, it's near impossible for large producers to be able to get the same results as smaller producers, especially without harming the trees.
What's going on back here?
Nothing, absolutely nothing. If you come around to the window more.
We film it?
Not at all.
Oh, is this Derek?
No, this is not Derek. I don't know who this nice gentleman is.
I'm Fred. I'm Derek's
You're
dad.
Fred? Oh, you're Derek's dad.
So you tell him when you go back there that you met me and you thought it was his brother, okay?
Okay.
Smells good.
So what happens in here? Is this the sap from the tree?
So this is what we call the evaporator.
Now this cooks about 85% of the water, and as it increases in its density here, it flows through this pipe into what's called the finishing pan. Now the finishing pan doesn't really make finished maple syrup, but it gets it real close. And to get it real close is quite a technique. If you guys are going to be in here in half an hour, you'll hear a lot about it underneath that tree there with the flag there. Where are you guys from?
Just the city, Toronto.
Yeah, I've heard of Toronto.
Oh, yeah, you know it.
Down the road, yeah. I get nervous when I'm south of Highway 7.
Yeah.
Thanks so much, Fred.
Thank you.
If you can get the temperature right, then you can make maple syrup that lasts for more than 100 years.
Michelle, what did he say?
As soon as he rings the bell, there is a presentation at the big tree.
Thank you.
To make perfect maple syrup, you cook it 7.5 degrees above the boiling point of water.
What are the chances I can do the pour? Yeah.
Nice and slow.
Nice and slow?
It's pretty liquidy.
Slow like oil.
Okay, ready? Like oil.
Oh.
You're right, go
Nice.
No, it's not slow. Thank you. And then I just turn it?
Yeah, stick it right in the middle.
Oh, right in the middle. This is why you get
No,
them
but it
to
turned
do
out
for
so
you.
good. Look at it. You did a good job.
I'm just gonna pop the whole thing.
Yeah, maple.
There you go.
Oh my god.
Nice.
It's like smoky. So good. Thank you for letting me do that.
I'll take it if you don't mind.
Mike would take the whole bottle.
Get some packing snow, bring it home.
Tell some friends we're having some booth and bottles tonight of maple syrup.
That's right.
If you've ever bought maple syrup and it's crystallized over time on the sides or on the lid, or it's even gone moldy, there's a reason for that. And that's the wrong temperatures being utilized during production, or just not enough percentage of actual maple sap and syrup to keep it clean, because you shouldn't get any crystallization or mold if it's clean, good, natural maple syrup. We also learned how maple syrup was even discovered, and I was shook. Canada is cold, and when the European settlers first arrived here, probably at this very tree 300 years ago, they had no access to fruit or berries because of the cold, so all they were really eating was meat like beaver, elk, deer, moose, bear, all the Canadian animals. But part of the reason why these groups survived next to eating the meat in the winter was because of the maple sap they drank and the sugar and the syrup that they learned how to make. Word spread around the block, and after a while, everyone in town was sharing maple syrup together to survive, even if they were from different settler groups. Legend has it that it was first noticed by indigenous hunters after a droplet fell from a broken maple tree branch onto someone's hand after an ice storm, and they did what anyone would do. They licked it, and at first, they thought it was water, but then they realized they were tasting something sweet. And then they looked up and noticed sweet sap droplets falling everywhere and realized that couldn't be water. But how they turned that water into sugar was another tale. Legend has it that every tree inhales carbon dioxide and turns that into oxygen, but this tree does something a little different. It inhales CO2 and turns it into oxygen and starch, and the photosynthesis with the sun on the leaves is what turns that starch into sugar. And when the fall comes, the sugar goes down the tree trunk and deep down into the roots in the ground, and then it comes back up in the spring as maple sugar. So to actually collect the sap, birch bark baskets were used to collect it. Of course, after taking a hatchet and opening a huge wound on the tree big enough to let more than 60 droplets fall per minute, the sap water would drip off the bark and into the buckets, and once they had enough sap water, they would pour it into a hollowed out log with stones, and then put that over a fire and start rolling the stones in the log on the fire until the maple sap turned thicker and suddenly became maple syrup, and then further crystallized into maple sugar. The benefit was that you could store the syrup and sugar in these birch bark containers and it would literally never go bad. So whenever people needed nourishment in the freezing outdoor temperatures, they would come to the birch bark container for a boost, especially since they later realized that
Maple syrup has 42 minerals and vitamins and 10 antioxidants.
Well, we were so excited by all of this information, but the problem was we were so cold, so it was hard to imagine ourselves as settlers back in the day in this weather without a warm home to go inside of. But it's a good thing there was a little cute campfire. We couldn't feel our noses and toes.
The little fire pit.
They're so cold.
Your feet?
Yeah.
Michelle, he's cold.
Yeah.
It's actually smart.
Michelle.
So nice. That's so funny. My name is also Michelle.
Oh, really? That's so funny.
promise I didn't know your name.
Well, I call this Michelle McSnally.
So with that, we started to make our way from the Sugar Shack to the Maple Syrup Museum of Ontario in the Heritage Barn, where we got to taste the amber and the dark maple syrups, as well as so many other cool maple products.
I want to try the dark one now.
Canada has historically dominated the maple syrup market, with 90% of the world's maple syrup coming from Canada's sugar maple tree.
That's quite good.
The maple leaf you know on the Toronto Maple Leafs hockey team? Yeah, that's the leaf from the maple tree that you extract maple sap from to turn into syrup.
This is the dark one.
Thoughts? Whoa.
Whoa. That is so
That is like
good.
This one's lighter.
Should we try this one too?
Thoughts?
I like the dark. It has more of a aftertaste of maple.
I know. That's true.
Like
I
the
agree
dark?
with that.
One more.
That's good.
So good. That's the one.
We were lucky that we got to see Derek, the owner, in the museum.
I emailed
We
you.
emailed back and forth.
Do you want a hug?
Yes, of course.
I'm the cameraman last time.
This is
You're
my
not?
brother Mike.
Hey Mike, how are you?
Nice to meet
You
you.
want a hug? So she showed up at Christmas, and I had literally 10 seconds, like it was going
Yeah, it was
bananas
so
here.
busy.
So today's the first day we're open for our maple experience.
Oh, we did the whole experience with the pancakes and the sausages, and we went and flipped the maple syrup in the ice.
And so we are aiming to provide authentic experience for the people of Toronto to get out of the city for a few
Absolutely.
hours. Bring your dog. The dog can
Oh,
go
yeah.
anywhere. Good having you here.
Yes.
Double hug.
Double hug, lucky me. Now we gotta buy some maple
You
syrup.
guys remember Fred?
I'm his brother. Help us.
That's a big I'm glad he's looking this good. Hopefully I look that good at 81.
Hey,
81.
That's a
wow.
blessing.
Hey, so you watch YouTube, right?
That's all I watch.
She's a YouTuber.
Have you been in CP20? Have you been on our YouTube channel?
No, she's here filming for
I
her
don't even.
YouTube channel.
You are? I love it. I love it. I love it.
Yes,
Yes.
That's why we had so many questions for you.
exactly.
Awesome. Way to go. So you have. Wow, this is so exciting. Since I discovered YouTube, I don't watch television anymore.
Quite
The same
literally,
as my
me
dad.
too. Thank you so much for having
really.
me.
Oh, good having you. Come on back. Come on back. You want to do maple syrup again? Come on back in April when it's nice and warm.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah. Bring a busload.
What a great guy, what an amazing family. So we may come back in April to do another private tour and maybe bring some of you guys along with us on a big bus, so stay tuned for that. But that is the insane process of how one tree can produce gallons and gallons of maple syrup that tells a tale 100% worth learning about. I told you you'd never guess it, but tucked away in the snowy Canadian forests holds millions of maple trees that have created what we know and love today as frozen maple toffee. And maple syrup, of course. Now you know why I didn't just go to the store to buy some syrup to pour on the snow, because the art of sugaring truly is like a science. And y'all know we the queens of science. Anywho, so that was the tour. I hope you guys liked it. We're gonna buy some maple syrup now and go warm up because it's freezing.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching.
Don't forget to subscribe.
Safe to say this trip was amazing. Just don't forget that on this channel, we take the seeds from inside exotic fruits and grow them into full-blown houseplants that fruit. But today, we went on an exciting maple syrup journey in the sugar bush to find out how real Canadian maple syrup is made. Thank you so much for watching my channel this week. Don't forget to like, comment, follow, subscribe. Remember that I love you. And I'll see you next week.
From the tree.